What's up, Warriors fans? It's your main man Max here with Warriors Latest. And as always, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button if you like what you hear, because I post new videos daily. Now, today is a very great day in Dub Nation, as it is the start of the Las Vegas Summer League. And for me, Summer League's been always a rocky road when it comes to just watching it, as well as seeing what certain places have to offer. Now, in previous years, Summer League has been that place where a lot of guys really have their rags to riches story. And they start in Summer League, then work their way up, and then become a regular rotation player moving on. The biggest instance I can think of is maybe, 12 years ago, back with the Knicks, when Chris Copeland worked from Summer League to preseason and then got his regular season roster spot. Nobody expected that. But it's always a joy to watch Summer League, to see what these young guys have to offer straight out of the draft, as well as some of these other guys that really have nothing going for them and they need to fight for their opportunity. And the one thing I love about Summer League is it's always entertaining. We'll see some crazy plays. We're going to see a little more defense than what we usually do. And we're going to see guys really hustle out there. And we're not going to just see the normal, okay, let's shoot a three, and then another three, and then another three, no defense, another three, quick drive to the basket, another three, and another three. We're going to see teams do whatever it takes to win. Because I was looking up an old video, and it was about the 2017 Los Angeles Lakers Summer League team and how that was one of the best ever, as they had a grand total of 7 NBA players on that roster that are still playing today. And we're talking Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Ivan Zubac, Thomas Bryant, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, and Alex Caruso, if I didn't already say him. Wait, so hold on. Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, Thomas Bryant, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Ivan Zubac, and Kyle Kuzma. Yes, okay. So that's all of it. But that's 7 pro players that were on that roster, and they were such a joy to watch. And now, when it comes to Summer League, it's only 10 days long, but at least you're getting 10 days worth of good basketball. Now, like I said, the one thing I really love about Summer League is it's where these young guys get the opportunity to really present themselves. And I think with these buy low players that I like to talk about, there are going to be a lot of other buy low players that you kind of missed on but are still developing, that have the opportunity to be signed by the Warriors. Now, the biggest one that I like to talk about the most is Emoni Bates. Now, from my understanding, Emoni is playing in Summer League, and he will be playing for the Cavs Summer League team, even though he's not a part of their roster or signed with them. He's going to showcase himself as an NBA-ready player. And I think this is great because a lot of the post-draft, post-first few weeks of free agency, conversations really happen during that week or week and a half in Vegas during Summer League, where, all right, trade chatter heats up a little bit. Free agency has another spark going in it after the initial wave, and things get really interesting. Now, for Emoni, it's going to be, he has to get the Cavs in a place where he's basically the guy. He's the one where he's averaging at least 25 a game, grabbing maybe 8 to 9 rebounds, dishing out 6 to 7 assists. He's got to show why he's a step above the rest, and he's somebody that deserves to be signed. And I think that's where the Warriors are going to have their opportunity. They're going to look for these guys. Now, let's look at the obvious before I get into it. The Warriors don't exactly have a great Summer League team. They really threw it together, and that's what's frustrating for me. Outside of Alex Tui, there are not many great guys or names that pop out of you and say, oh, let's see what this guy has to offer. So you got to watch some of the other teams and what they're doing. I think the most prominent name outside of Alex Tui for the Warriors roster is Isaiah Mobley, who is Evan Mobley's, I believe, younger, it's his brother. I'm not sure if it's younger or older. But that's the most prominent name, and I believe 2 years ago he was named MVP of the Summer League. So that's a plus, but I just don't know how that's going to pan out for the Warriors. So I would say focus on other teams. Find teams who have names on their roster that pop out to you, and then watch those games, because you never know. Some of those guys, or a good majority of those guys, aren't under contract. They're just invitations. Invitations only, just to showcase what you have. Now, when you're working with that, okay, it's basically like the NBA version of a tryout. This is what Summer League is. Yes, it's fun to watch. Yes, I have been there, and it's a great time and great fun to be a part of, but it's a showcase. That's all it really is, and you got to appreciate it as much. A lot of these guys aren't going to make the league, but it's fun to see them actually put in the effort and really find that hunger and see what they can do to at least try and make the league. Now, on top of that, we all know that the general managers for all the teams are going to be at Summer League, and the one thing I love about that is it's really going to start to lay the groundwork for a potential Jonathan Kuminga sign-in trade. Now, we all know Kuminga could stay with the Warriors, but I'm really not counting on it because he still just does not fit that system. But what I will see at Summer League is, hey, maybe some unlikely suitors will come out of the woodwork and offer the Warriors a great deal. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Jazz re-engage the Warriors in negotiations, and they say Kuminga not as a 3, but a 2 who could defend the 3 and sometimes the 4 in smaller lineups. Now, if that happens, there's an opportunity to sort of, explore what the Jazz have left to offer, as they do have a lot of cap space, or maybe the opportunity to work a sign-in trade where the Jazz send out the cap space but take on Jonathan Kuminga, while another team sends over the proper assets for what the Warriors are looking for. Now, whether that be a rotation player and a first-round pick, that remains to be seen. I still think they need to get a star, and, well, not a star, but like a starter who can play next to Steph, who can play next to Draymond, who can play next to Jimmy, and really be a force on the offense. Like I said, the Warriors need a guy who can play off the ball and who can shoot the three-pointer. Yes, we do have the opportunity to bring back D'Anthony Melton, but is he going to be that guy next to Jimmy and Steph? Remains to be seen. I remember watching him with the Sixers, and he was just sort of another body in my eyes. Granted, I'm not looking at the advanced stats. I just look at the eye test, and it just wasn't there for me. And if you want to bring in a guy who's going to be a starter, make it exciting. At least Al Horford is an exciting guy. He's a former All-Star. You know he's got something left and knows how to embrace his role and can really step up when he needs to be. Now, like with Horford, he's going to bring that stretch big, which they always need. If he ever decides to sign with them, God knows when that'll be. But in Summer League, they want to find someone, or at least on the trade market, who can bring back some real value. Now, I was thinking about this the other day. Again, the only teams I could think of are the Cavs and the Bulls that are major league players. Like outside of that, you think of the Kings, but until they throw in DeMar DeRozan and maybe a protected first-round pick, it isn't worth engaging with the team on the other side of the bay. They are a good team, but they're also a dumpster fire of a franchise ever since they were sold. And I don't want to deal with them because they're going to try and swindle you. And when you're dealing with a swindler, they're trying to get one up on you, and you'd rather not deal with them than continue to have to negotiate with them because they're the only guy that you can negotiate with. At that point, if I'm forced to only deal with the Kings, I'd rather sign Kuminga to a short-term deal and then trade him mid-season to see what happens. Honestly, that's the best way to go. Hopefully he develops his three-point shot during the offseason, but I'm not counting on it. I mean, we've all seen those shooting videos with Ben Simmons. It's like, oh, Ben Simmons' revenge tour on the way, and then next thing you know, nothing happens. It doesn't matter what you do in the offseason. You have to show up in games. And unless you're showing up in games, your offseason work is worthless. Now, that brings me to my bottom line, which is the Warriors need to take advantage of Summer League. That's where the action is really going to start for the team. They are the only team that hasn't made a move the entire offseason, And it's time to change that. The Warriors go in with the exact same roster. They will, yeah, they're not going to make it out of the first round. They might not even make it to the playoffs. They might just only make it to the play-in, like they did last year, except maybe worse as a 9-10 seed. Like, don't get me wrong, the core is great, but unless you're putting pieces around them that really can supplement and complement the core, it's just a waste of time. And I don't want to see the Warriors do that. I know they're smart enough to not do that, and they want to maximize Steph's window for at least one more championship. And I think that's what the goal is, and that's why I believe Summer League is where the action is going to start. So for Warriors Latest, I'm your main man, Max, and as always, go Dubs.